This episode of the Love Looks Like This project touches on body shaming during wedding planning and during wedding dress shopping. Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to the Love Looks Like This project. My name is Sarah Margaret. I am 27 years old and I'm an empowerment artist based out of Delaware, and my favorite book has, for a very long time, been The Time Traveler's Wife.
Oh, I've not read that one.
Oh my god, it's so good. It's one of those, it's like, I know there's a movie. I understand that there's a movie. And I do love me some Rachel McAdams. Wonderful woman. But like, there's no possible way that they could do the entire like 400-page book justice in like an hour and 45. So I've never watched it because I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to mess it up.
Okay, I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah.
Okay, so my name's Kelli Reinbold. I am a 27-year-old mental health therapist. And my favorite book, my pronouns are she, her. Cool. And my favorite book as of recently is Tomorrow and Tomorrow and Tomorrow by Gabrielle Zevin.
Oh, I've not heard about that one.
Very good. It was slow for the first third, and then getting into it, it's kind of like video gamey, kind of gets into some serious topics that like happen in the world. Of course, it's all fiction, so it's like they pull in a lot, but it's nothing like super realistic.
Gotcha. Okay.
Not like this was based on a true story.
Is it like sci-fi or?
No, not really.
Okay.
Part of what I like about it is that it kind of follows these three friends who have like a video game company, and the chapters are almost written as if they were parts of video games that they're creating.
That's cool.
There's like an Oregon Trail-y one, and they kind of write it as if it's like talking the Oregon Trail.
Cool.
It's a very good book. It got me back into it after a while. So.
Oh, that's very cool.
Yeah.
I love that. Because you were saying it's the first book that you read that like got you into reading as an adult.
Yes.
Because we were talking about how it's very different.
I'd read maybe like one or two here and there until then, but then it wasn't until that one that I was like, reading is fun.
I'm
like,
a reader
let me do that again.
Yeah. Now, as we were saying, it's, again, as an English major, I love me some annotation. And like, I love me some annotation, I love me some reading, but like school can drain the love of reading out of you.
Yes,
I remember
absolutely.
like devouring books, like in middle school, like staying up super late, like
free pizzas.
with the flashlights. With the flashlights. Oh, I have an award up there. It's the stupidest thing. It was in elementary school. It was like the Read a Lot program. Did you?
Oh yeah.
The Read a Lot program where you read a book, you read a lot of books, and then you like took the little quiz, and then you got the points for it. I've been very points driven my whole life, and I had so many points. They have like all of these things you can win for doing whatever, like pizza party, blah blah blah. And again, pizza all comes back to pizza.
Absolutely.
And I had so many points that they didn't know what to do, so they got me they made an award for me, and I was like, this is my greatest achievement.
I will never top this one.
I peaked in third grade, and I was like on my desk. Like I threw out, like all the the soccer, trophy things that, like, she's still up there. She's still up there. Prize possession.
If the house was, like, on fire and you had to grab one thing, like, get the animals.
I got all the
animals
out. Yes, it's a very slow burning fire because it's going to take us, like, 20 minutes to get all the animals out. Like, do you know where their cages? Like, where do we put... Anyway, so your job is being a mental health therapist.
Yes.
Super cool. If you had to describe yourself in a way other than your profession, because I feel like people are like, oh, what do you do for a living? Like, that's the first, small talk thing. If you had to describe yourself in a way that wasn't your profession, what would you say?
Oh, boy.
I got the hard hitters right now.
Let me start right now. I don't know. I think I am very much like I want to say mediator, but not in the sense of, like, solving things between people, but kind of being that like intermediary person. Like I can be in a room and be like the super quiet one who's like sitting with other people in the corner, or I can be like kind of the center of the party. So I'm very much like I've got that middle ground personality that I've really grown to appreciate.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, no, that's good to read the room and like read the language of the other people and see how you can best fit into that. But that's also an interesting conversation of like, sometimes do you feel like you lose yourself a little bit?
Sometimes.
Yeah, it's a balance.
I do. And especially, my fiance is very extroverted, very outgoing. And so when I'm around him and his friends, I feel like, I take on so much of it. And then I go home and I'm like, what did I just do? I can't do that again.
Yeah.
And he has trouble understanding. He's gotten better, right? But like, I often feel like, okay, now in order for me to be Kelli again, like I'm gonna squirrel away in my bedroom with this book and just sit and don't talk to me for who knows how long, and then I'll come back to it. But yeah.
So do you describe yourself as an introvert or an ambivert?
Yeah, definitely more towards the ambivert side. I feel very introverted in the sense that like I recharge when I'm not with people. But I'm also, like I said, pretty good at knowing like when to kind of amp up the energy as well.
So I hardcore introvert. Like I have people fooled at photo shoots. Like they're like, oh, are you an introvert? Because I like constantly am talking because like I don't want people to feel uncomfortable. Because I know I personally, I like silence, but when my titties are out and people are hanging out with me, like I would like to, you know, things to be said. So I just like talk constantly. Someone was like, oh, sorry, are you an extrovert? And I was like, oh God, no, this is an act. This is all an act. It's all
Please
a lie.
don't think that about me.
It's all a lie. But I have certain people, like different people take different levels of energy from me. So very excited, loud friends. If my husband had very excited, loud friends, that would drain me more. But like my husband is a net zero person. Like he does not take energy, and sometimes he can even recharge me a bit, like hanging out with him. So do you have people in your life that are net zero people that don't take any energy from you?
Yeah, for sure. My fiance is usually one of those, but sometimes he gets that energy and I'm like, hold on.
Please pause.
Usually he is. You know, people like my mom is definitely one of them for me that I can
really
just like sit in a room with her. She's also a really big reader, so I think we can just like sit in our own corners and be content and we're good.
I like that.
And maybe like one or two of my closest friends. And not that there's other people that I don't love dearly. It's just like sometimes I spend a day with them and I'm like, okay, all right.
No, because it's fun. It's fun to like, and I love photo shoots, and like it's not disingenuous for me to be really excited because I am. It just, I need to recover the next day. Like I'm not lying when I say I'm super excited and everything because I am, but it's just like, tired.
Yeah.
So when this is going to be a first 3 words that pop into your head.
Okay.
So don't try to think about it too much.
Okay.
When I ask you about your body, what are those first 3 words that pop into your head?
Okay. Don't think about it too much. Oh God. So tall, uncomfortable, and God, I don't know what else to say. Unique. For sure.
Awesome. Okay, so tell me, tall, pretty self-explanatory. I got that. How tall are you?
I am like 5'9".
Nice. Okay.
Most days.
Most days. Yeah, I say 6 feet because it's just easier. It says 5'11". I told them 5'11 and a half for my driver's license, and so they just put 5'11". Now my husband's like, no, you're only 5'11". I'm like, I'm 6 feet. Just give it to me. I promise. I promise. I really am. If I like do yoga that day. So I get that. But I need that because I am the shortest of my sisters. There's 3 of us. I'm tall. I'm the oldest, but I'm the shortest at 6 feet. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So like I've like grown out of it since I've been doing therapy, but like we were very competitive. So like I gotta be at least 6 feet. Like, and then my mom's the shorty at 5'10". Yeah, because my dad's 6'5". So explain to me a little bit about uncomfortable, like why that's the first thing.
Yeah, so I guess like uncomfortable awkward is something that I've always kind of felt because like I've always been taller, right? And so I've always been very aware of myself, and you know, people have always made comments like, oh, you're so tall, and I'm like, yes, and then they say, oh, you know, you wear a size 10 shoe. Yes, right? And so then I'm like, I can think back and remember times where even like getting off the school bus, I would have to plan like how I'm standing up so that my ass didn't hit the seat next to me, right? And so like I've always just been very super aware of myself and like the space that I'm taking up, and sometimes depending on the situation, I feel very awkward if I'm like very close to things or like people that I'm not used to or
No, I like very much identify with that. Like I remember I used to do cross country, worst thing ever. But I used to do cross country, and I was again 6 feet, very tall, and I felt huge like around these little tiny petite girlies that were so fast. It's very slow. But like I felt huge. Like even though I was like literally a stick, like I felt huge. So I'm not happy to hear that you went through that, but I'm happy to hear I'm not the only person who felt that being tall. Like, it's just like, because you can't shrink away. Like,
Right.
people are gonna notice you. And like when you go to concerts, you're like, I'm so sorry. I've seen someone with a shirt that says I'm sorry, like on the back, because it's like a really tall guy. Like, you can't be the shrinking, wilting flower when you're towering over everyone.
Right.
So how tall is Scott, your fiance?
He is 6'3".
Okay, so you still get to be the the petite little girly.
Absolutely.
My husband he's not short. He's like, I think he's like 5'9", 5'10", so he's a little guy. To me, but like to other people, he's like normal height. What do you think is unique other than being tall?
It's not something that I've become aware of until recently, I think, but I think like my proportions make me very unique as a person. I feel like you see a lot of, like tall people or whatever, and they don't quite look the same, and that's fine, right? But yeah, I've just become aware of like how my body looks a little bit different from everyone else's.
Yeah, no, I totally. You have
not
some
necessarily
gorgeous thighs.
Oh,
like I don't want to look like you have beautiful thighs. I'm just like, oh my god, amazing, love it. But yeah, no, I totally get that, and especially like with the feet. Like my sister has very large feet, and like I get that. Mine are like a 9, so like they're right on the edge of being like the double digits. But like no, I totally get that, especially like if you go to a sleepover or whatever, and like when you're younger, and like everyone's shoes are in a corner, and then you're like, like mine look like the mom's. Like no, I get that. That can feel overwhelming. But I totally get that. Like it doesn't matter what. I mean, feet size is not related to weight, but like it can feel like those like markers of like I'm tall and I have big feet, like I'm huge, even though like, even if no matter what weight you are, and it can feel that way. So I totally get that. How would you describe your current relationship with your body, and how does that compare to your historical relationship with it? Yeah, so growing up, I was pretty thin, very tiny, very petite, but I was always so tall, right? So like I said, I was always very aware of myself, but I don't know that I was necessarily aware of like weight and things like that. I was always pretty healthy. I was very involved, and so it wasn't something I thought about much. After college, I gained probably like 50 pounds, right? And I didn't care, right? I love hearing that. That's fantastic. I was very much like, I'm an adult now. The metabolism, as soon as we leave college, it's like... I work a very stationary job, right? Like, I'm not up walking around all day. I'm sitting in a chair for hours at a time. You don't go on runs with your clients? Like, that sounds like the worst therapy session I could ever have. I would love to, like, go for walks with them sometimes. That would be nice. That would be great. Yeah. Or, like, right along the rivers. That would be really nice. So, after gaining the weight, I still felt pretty okay because I was like keeping up with myself. I was going to the doctor. I was healthy. Everything looked really good. Yeah. And then I got engaged, and I was really excited about it. And from the beginning, I said, I don't care if I lose weight. I just want to feel good. Yeah. And so for me, that looked like going to therapy and starting vitamins and doing skincare and like going for walks and doing things that I enjoy. Sure. But I think bridal culture is really hard to not let it get in your head. Yeah, no, as soon as you put that in your application, I was like, oh, are we talking about that? Yup. I was hopeful that would spark some interest. Yes, for sure, especially as a wedding photographer who's trauma-informed, and like I see in in inquiries all the time, like, I'm a bigger person, like, I want to feel, like, better, like, all that stuff, like, I'm really worried about wedding photos. I'm like, that shouldn't be something you're worried about, like, that's so upsetting. Yeah. But, and I can't say that I was ever super worried myself, but even people who were or have been close to me have kind of started putting those things in my head. And so, being in the therapy world and working with a therapist myself, please do that. Like, everyone, yes. I just started again. I'm trying. Okay. I don't like it, but I'm doing it. It's so hard. It's so hard. Oh my God. But I promise it's worth it. Yes. And so, like, I've done the work on it, and I recognize that if I hadn't been as secure as I was myself, a lot of these comments would really hurt. Yeah. And it's not even just about weight. It's about
any realm of things. Like I got 2nd-degree burns on my hand last year, and I had so many people like.
What did you do?
I was cooking.
Oh no!
I like moved a pan that I didn't realize was already hot, and the oil just like poured over me. So like even down to that, I've had people kind of be like, well, you have to
because
cover
it's on
it,
your ring
right?
hand. Yeah. Yeah, we do the close-ups and everything.
Yep.
I think it looks sick, but that's just me.
It's like a battle scar.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love scars. Anyway.
I was making great food. I still finished the meal afterwards. And
It
then
was
I went
good?
to the urgent care the next day. It was fine.
Did it taste good at least?
Yeah, it tasted great.
Fantastic. Except with the singed skin inside. Like,
Yeah,
take
right.
that out.
Just forget about
Just
that.
take
It's okay. And so yeah, like I've gotten a lot of comments that like do get to me sometimes.
Yeah.
I don't hold on to them as much as I think I could. But I think what I've come to realize is like I don't have a body like everyone else, and again, that's fine. I don't care necessarily.
Yeah.
It's just
so
like,
weird how everyone else cares about it.
Right, right, and especially people who are close or who were close, who have said like, you know, are you sure that you feel okay about that? And it's like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, why are you questioning me?
Like, this is how I look.
Yeah.
And I feel good otherwise, so why should I need to change?
Yeah. Since we started talking about wedding stuff,
Yeah.
Can we talk a little bit about what the wedding dress shopping experience was like? Because
Yeah.
I'm sure that was a tricky thing, because it can be tough.
It was, yeah. So in Harrisburg, where I live now, there's one bridal shop. So everyone goes there, right?
Is it a small owned or
yeah,
is it, okay.
Well, yeah, so there's like a David's Bridal.
Yeah.
I was not.
Oh,
I didn't want to do that.
Not to like shit on David's Bridal, but like I was in Wilmington for something, and I was like, what's going on with David's Bridal? Like, I'm gonna hop in there.
Yeah.
The ugliest shit I've ever seen. Like, when I went wedding shopping in like 2019, I'm pretty sure it's all the same exact designs. Like, they have not updated it
They're
whatsoever.
also bankrupt, so I think they're trying to get rid of it
twice.
Yeah.
Like, this is like number 2. Like,
Yeah.
no, because I was like, is it even still a thing? And so like I went in with my husband, and we were like being Judge Judy's all over, and I'm looking at stuff, and I was just like, like, because it's also like a good starting point, because they have every style.
Right.
They have every style. However, because they have everything, they don't have many of each one. Like, they have every style
Maybe
you
like
could possibly
one or two,
want,
though.
but they have like max like 4 or 5 like ball gowns. So like if you want a ball gown, so it's a good place to start. But I find that like the smaller shops, like the one that I really, really like that we're going to today, so excited. They have like narrowed in the more modern type look. So like they have, if that's your vibe, they're gonna have so many options. Like, so I think that's a good place to start. If like you figured out, okay, I did the David's Bridal thing and figured out I like the modern look, I'm gonna go here.
Yep.
So what's the vibe of the small shop they went to?
Yeah, so it is much more modern. It's like younger, like millennials who own it, and so they try to keep up with it. And honestly, I was very nervous going into it, not because of myself, because of those people who were like, well, what if they don't have your size? And I was like, again, don't care. I'm gonna find one, and they're gonna get my size.
They can
and
clip
it's gonna
up.
be
That's
fine.
that's not that huge of a. That's not that big of a deal.
Right,
Yeah.
right. So we went, and actually, I wound up being the size that most of their samples were.
Yeah, no, you're pretty much sample size, because that's the size that's easy to clip down or clip up for people.
Yeah.
So.
And she also said, like, I guess it was the owner we were working with, she normalized it for me, right? And she said, you are the size of most people we see here. And so that's the size that we order our samples in, and it kind of works out. And then if people need to clip it down or clip it up, like, we can do that for them. And like even ordering the dress, like they ordered me on size, it came in, it fits perfect. Like everything is fine.
I love it. That's awesome.
So I had such a good experience.
That's great.
I took a lot of people with me.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how many people did we bring?
9.
Oh God.
So here's the thing.
Haven't you ever watched it? Say yes to the dress. They say don't do that.
So here's the thing. Everyone had voiced to me that they wanted to be involved. I did not plan on getting one that day. I thought I was gonna go look and then come back.
Yeah.
So I
gotcha.
thought, let's knock everybody out at once and be done.
Bad
idea, in hindsight.
Well, you know, this is your first time, hopefully last time getting married. Like, yeah, you know, like.
And so I take these people, right? We had a good time. They were good for the most part.
Yeah.
But
They behaved for the most part.
the things that I thought looked good didn't necessarily translate to what some of them liked.
Okay.
Right? some of those people are no longer in my life.
I heard Erin is, I heard that she was B-string backup bridesmaid who made the cut
Yes,
now. So.
And very much like, it was between her and one other person. I picked the other person because I was in her wedding.
So it seemed like, yes, no,
I
totally...
realized quickly that I should have picked
That
Erin
was
to
the
begin
best,
with.
yes, I did hear. Because I get a... I feel like I need to add wedding therapy to like my list of services because I've gotten a couple. I know that you two do
like
wedding therapy together. Yeah, I've gotten a couple of those as well because I think you weren't available that weekend, so I got like 2 hours.
Probably.
So I do know that you guys. I've heard a little bit.
Normally like
yeah.
3-hour calls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot to go over.
So much. Yeah. So there were a few moments where like they put me in basically like sheaths, and I was like, I'm fine in my body. This is uncomfortable.
Yeah,
every curve, every bump,
everything.
everything. Like my boobs are pouring out at the top. Like my ass.
I'm sure
looks...
Scott would love, but I got my wedding dress pre-pandemic and then put on those pandemic pounds. So we there was like multiple people that had to shove me into that thing, and titties were the main part of the day. And my husband's like, I loved it. He was like, that was the best. I'm like, well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Right. I didn't necessarily. Some of them I was like, these are gonna fall out.
Yeah,
they're not.
No, we cannot move 1 inch too far in the wrong direction.
No,
it's gonna be a show.
Right. Yeah. So, I wound up in one that I loved. It was one that I knew I wanted to try on going in.
Perfect.
It was the second one I tried on when we got there.
I picked the first one I tried on. I was like, this is the best. I got it. And then people were like, you got to try them. I was like, ugh. But then, the first one, I was like, that's it, we're done. Yes, I also did not want to do wedding dress shopping. So did you go into it did you dread it going into it?
Yeah. Yeah, I did because that was the first time all those personalities were together in the same room. Again, very secure in myself. So I was like, whatever happens, happens. It's fine. And I guess it wasn't the dress shopping itself I was concerned about, but just like all the little ideas that people were kind of like putting in my head that I was like, they don't say this the day of, like, I'm gonna feel so awful. Yeah. So, I mean, I was excited about it. Cause like I had never
It's fun, you get to like dress up and everything, but like,
fun.
I don't like attention on me.
Yeah.
So it's just cause not only is it attention on you, they're actively there to not like make judgments, like to help you make that decision. Like, I like this one, I don't like this one. And it's like, it's tough. It's even harder than the wedding day because like you can't pick a different dress on your wedding day. They just gotta say nice stuff about you. But like, it's like, I'm going to hear a lot of opinions voiced to me today about my body specifically.
Yes.
And that's very overwhelming.
Yes. Surprisingly, that was not even like the worst of the comments I've heard. People mostly behaved that day. It was decent, thankfully.
Good. I have to smack them.
There was a little bit of like, are you sure? And I was like, yes. Yeah. I am very sure in myself. The people who I really wanted to hear their opinions were all in agreement.
Right? And then you just kind of filtered out the other ones,
Yeah. I do a very good job of
that. Good. I mean, I would hope as a therapist,
Yeah, so...
how many did you try on?
Probably like... So the one that I picked was the second one that I tried on, and then I tried on maybe like 6 more after that, and then I was hot. So I said, get me out, I'm done.
We're done. We're done with this. We're done with this. Did we retry on number 2?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so I came back around to it at the end. I didn't think I wanted a veil. They put one on. I said, okay, sold. And then... Yeah. That was it.
Yeah, no, it's like when they put the veil on, it's just like different.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, I'm so glad you found the one that you like absolutely love. Did you ever have like afterwards like buyer's remorse about it? Because I know that happens too. Or did you feel like pretty?
Yeah, a little bit. There was one that was pretty comparable. Maybe like straps looked a little different or something, but overall the same. And I was kind of like, does that top look a little bit better? I don't know. I have all the pictures, and one of the things I'm looking forward to is showing Scott all the no's afterwards and being like, what do you think of this?
What are you doing? Because we care about his opinion. But mostly it's about you and your opinion of what you looked like. But yes, no, whenever you spend a lot of money on anything, like regardless of what it is, it's like, well, did I do the right thing? Like, I mean, some people can make infinite decisions, but of course, my anxiety, I'm like going to be nervous about it afterwards. But and then also just hearing all those voices in your head, like, it's hard. It's hard to filter that out. So on the continuum of me versus my body to my body is a part of me and my body and I are the same thing, how do you perceive your relationship with your body?
5 years ago, I probably would have said that, like, we are one and the same. Now I'd say I'm probably, like, 75% there.
Okay.
Not that I don't try to feel that way, but just that sometimes I feel like I don't have permission to feel that way.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Just because, like, I don't look like the average person, bride.
Yeah.
All the
Even
things.
though you are the average bride. Like,
Right,
the,
like, I've heard that
the
so many
professional
times.
literally said that to
Yeah,
you. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but it's still, it's like, those aren't the photos you see. Like, that's not what's on Pinterest. Like, that's not, like, even though you are, I mean, believe the average size in the United States today, like, that's not what you see online, and that's not what you see. Like, so when you were, like, doing, like, you know, the wedding process, like, how long have you been engaged at this point?
Like, so we got engaged in May of 23, so, like, 14, 15 months.
Okay, and then September sure, so we're getting close. Exciting. Because I know it's, like, very close to Aaron's. Right before or right after?
A week and a half after.
Week and a half after. Gotcha. I knew it was, like, one or the other. But, so when you were starting, like, how long into the wedding planning process did that bit of anxiety, like, about, like, your body and stuff, like, start?
Quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And it actually happened before I even got engaged.
Oh, really? Okay.
I had friends who, we all knew it was coming. Scott tried. He did not succeed.
It's okay. I saw it coming from a mile away. Like, I literally reapplied my lipstick before we got out of the car because I knew.
I didn't expect it to happen how it happened, but I knew it was going to be on that trip.
Okay. It was on a trip. Just like Aaron's.
Yes. She got engaged, like, less than a week after me or something. It was right in a row. So even, like, leading into that trip, I had a lot of friends who, well, not a lot, a handful, who would say, like, you know, I started working out before, like, I even got engaged, and so if you ever want to come try my gym with me to see if you like it, that way you know where you want to go. Or, you know, I had friends who were engaged and who were kind of saying, like, oh, well, this is my routine, so if you ever want to, like, sit down and talk about it, let me know. If you want accountability for working out, let me know. And I'm sitting here like, I fucking hate working out. I don't like it. Mad respect for people who do, because that's just not me. I love walking. I love swimming. I love playing with my dog, rolling around. I don't want to go to the gym. I don't.
Yeah. Because the gym has its own levels of body stuff, and now literally everyone's a working out influencer, and there's 87 million cameras going on, and it's like,
no.
I
don't want to. Take my dog for nice little walks. We'll go for 3 miles. He's a border collie.
Yeah, you know, that is a delightful amount of working out. Like, because walking actually, like, I believe has better, like, health benefits than running. And, like, if you're going longer, like, I could not run 3 miles at this point. Like, if I'm walking for 3 miles, that's better than running, like, you know, a half a mile. Like, it's, like, walking is great for you. It's got a lot, and then, like, it's also good for your brain, too. Like, going out, walking, everything with the dog, all that stuff. But, yeah, no.
It's been pretty consistent.
Yeah, no, and that's great. That's super awesome, and I love that. Because I'm in a bunch of wedding groups, because, you know, I'm a wedding photographer, all that stuff, and I have seen people selling services of wedding workout, wedding trainers. Yeah. I'm like, you don't, like, that's just such a strange service, because it's like, if you're a trainer, like, some people want that, and that is awesome. Not me, but that is awesome. Right. But it's like, just the concept of only working out because you want to look good on your wedding day is just bonkers to me. It's like,
right. And in my mind, I'm like, I could do this now, maybe, right? But, like, what happens after the wedding's over and I stop because I don't have that motivation anymore, and I gain it back? And now I look at my wedding photos and I don't look like that anymore.
Yeah, no.
So now what?
Yeah, it's like, then, just wedding photos, it's just so weird. Like, it's so weird that we're just, like, we're just so obsessed with what, like, Yeah. Like, I'm like, can't even articulate, like, how much it bothers me. It's like, why can't you just show up to your wedding day as yourself? Like, it's about you and your partner that you're spending the rest of your life with. Like, why do we turn it? It's like, it's not a photo shoot. Like, I specifically put on my website, like, it is not a photo shoot.
Right.
Like, I am capturing the day. We will have maybe 20% of the day where, you know, we have those portraits and whatever. But, like, not even when I do that, it's like, it's just like me prompting you, like, oh, look at, like, whisper in their ear, like, your favorite part about them. Like it's just like us hanging out and doing, like, it's not, those photos you see online are not actual weddings. They're styled shoots. Like, you can't, like, your wedding day should not feel like a photo shoot. Like, it really, really shouldn't. Like, you shouldn't sacrifice having a great photos, but, like, it shouldn't feel like a photo shoot. Because if that's what you want, like, we have a service where you can do bridal or, you know, groom, well, that doesn't sound good. I haven't found a good term for it because I don't want to add, but anyway, it's like styled shoots for you and your partner. Like, you can't go and get the gorgeous, like, mountaintop photo on your wedding day. You don't fucking have time. So, like, you can do that on another day. Like, if you desperately want your photos to look like whatever, don't do it on your wedding day. Like, just let it be capturing the day. Like, it should be you. So many people don't enjoy their weddings. It's like, what are we spending tens of thousands of dollars on if you don't enjoy your day? Like, I don't understand, like, why we would, like, if you want, you know, picture perfect photos, do it on another day. Like, it's, why would you add that stress to, like, you're already gonna be stressed enough. Like,
No. I've had comments, like, even down to, you know, I've never worn contacts my entire life, but I've even heard people say, like, well, you're not wearing those for your wedding, are you? Like, I want to see. I'd love to see him.
What?
So, yes, I'm going to wear my glasses on my wedding day.
Also, I feel like my face looks weird without my glasses because I'm just used to,
I've worn them my whole life. They're a part of my face. If I take them off, I don't look like myself.
Exactly.
And so many people are like, oh, but you have to try contacts. So I tried them, and I was like, this is awful. I hate these. So we're not doing that. But even after, like, I had one person who was like, you're going to regret that. And I was like, that I looked like myself on my wedding day? Like, why?
How dare you? It's like, no, I'd actually rather look like a red-faced raccoon because I can't see and my head hurts, and it's like...
I'd be miserable.
You'd be like, it's just like... it drives me nuts. Wedding culture is just so weird. Like, it's just so weird. Like, I say as part of wedding culture, but I try to shift it because it's just so weird. It's like, why do we
part
care?
of you that you are not. Like, it doesn't matter if you feel good. Doesn't matter. Just, you have to look like an unreal version of yourself.
You have to look like an unreal, like, my really good friend Sarah is in the group. Like, we love Sarah. She's fantastic. She literally, her favorite photo of her wedding day is not from her photographer. It's someone, I think her husband took a photo of her in the evening throwing up into the toilet because she was so anxious from the whole day. Her eyelashes are on the toilet lid. She took them off, and it's her laying against it with her extensions out because she was so anxious the whole day. It's like, why do we do this to ourselves? And, like, there's just a weird culture where, like, it's honestly an impressive talent how people can make your wedding day about themselves. Like, it does not matter how far removed they are from you. Like, second great aunt on the left makes it about them. It's like, how? Like, how? Even if they're not even invited, it's still about them. It's crazy.
I've had that exact thing happen. Distant aunt. My mom had, like, shown her a picture. We hung out for my birthday or something. And my aunt said, like, oh, who's that? And my mom was like, well, that's Kelly. And she was like, oh my God, she got so fat. And then in the very next sentence, she goes, but I better be invited to that wedding. And I said, well, that's how you got yourself uninvited. So you won't be. Congratulations, you did that. And my mom comes to me and she's like, so to preface, you don't have to invite her. And I was like, good, because I wasn't going to.
Good, because, oh my God.
I will not do that.
Yeah, no, I've definitely had several couples explain to me that either mother or mother-in-law gets in their head, which I'm so glad that she did not, that
mother's wonderful.
Random aunt, uncle, like, family reunion, like, your wedding is not a family reunion, like, also, and it's just, everyone wants to make weddings about yourself and about themselves, and it's just, It's crazy. It's crazy to me. How many people are invited to your wedding?
So like 150.
That's so many people.
It's too many.
That's so many people.
I wanted to keep it under like 100. Scott knows too many people.
Damn it, Scott.
We've been to 18 weddings together in the 4 years that we've been dating, so
wedding culture is also just so, it's like, as soon as you invite this person, you have to widen the circle to all the other people who are within that level of closeness. Like, it's...
We've avoided that. Tried. Anyway.
But
at least.
there's still 150 people.
He's an extrovert.
Okay. I got that.
Went to, like, West Virginia, Virginia Tech. Was in, like, band fraternities. So he's very well-rounded. Meanwhile, I've got my 5 family members in the corner over here. And
we're hanging out reading their books.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So what has your fiance's experience been like with this? I'm assuming he has not experienced most of these things, but I mean, has he experienced any of it? Because I do know that men deal with this as well. Not to the level that women do, but...
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. And he likes to work out. Not to the point where he does it, like, religiously or anything, but...
I have met some of those people.
If he's stressed, he just likes to go run on the treadmill for a while. Again, not me. Good for him.
Again, can't relate. That would make me more stressed.
No.
That is a healthy outlet, so good for him.
Right, yeah. And I'm glad he does it. But he, like, growing up, he always said that he kind of... Same as me, he is taller. And he was, like, he's a bigger guy. He just is naturally a bigger dude. And so he always kind of says, like, he was very aware of his weight. Kids made fun of him in school, that kind of stuff. And, you know, looking at him, you wouldn't really know. But even kind of going into it, you know, he's gotten the comments of like, well, you want to make sure your suit fits right, so hit the gym a little extra.
Yeah, that's what a tailor is for.
Yeah. So he's gotten a little bit, certainly, like you said, not as much.
But it's still there.
But he has felt it and heard it, and I've kind of had to, in my little therapy brain, off the clock, redirect his brain, because he was in this the mindset of like, well, if you want to feel good for your wedding day, you lose a few pounds and you work out. And I was like, but you can do other things too. Like, you can go to therapy and you can take your meds and go to the doctor. And he's recently started to shift, and he's so much happier since he started to do that.
Happens. Yeah.
Right? Like, I got him in therapy. Don't mean to out him now, but
love it.
You know, he's really taking care of himself. We're eating better, and we feel good. And you know, he goes to the gym 2 or 3 times a week, feels good afterwards, and then he moves on. You know, he still enjoys his chores while he's golfing with his buddies, which he's doing right now.
Beautiful. Love it. Fantastic.
So yeah, he's learned that, like, you can still enjoy the things. You don't just have to eat plain chicken and rice and work out every single day.
I do, again, know multiple people who do that.
Yeah,
like, seasoning does not add that many calories. You can do that.
You can salt at least, right?
Yeah,
at least
very
sometimes. So he's learned as well, and he has also shifted. In the beginning, it was kind of like a tug of war, where he was like, but you have to work out. And I was like, no, you don't. Let's go for a walk. Let's go for a nighttime walk. Take a nice stroll with the dog. We'll be fine. And now he's like, oh, yeah, that's nice. That's wonderful.
My future wife is right.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Her little therapy brain does work.
Wild how that happens. Yeah, the concept of you need your body to fit the clothes is just such a weird concept to me. It's like, the clothes are there to fit you. Yeah. Like, you don't have to fit, like, and when I gained a lot of weight post-pandemic, like 100+ pounds, like a lot. And just, like, clearing out the closet and all that stuff. And people are like, oh, well, don't you want to keep that so it can be your goal outfit? I'm like, huh? Like, I got this at, like, I don't know, Kohl's. Like, no, this does not need to be my goal outfit.
It's
like,
not my favorite Gucci dress that I'm getting rid of. Like, I'm good.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay, but yeah.
Yeah, no. I've heard a lot of that. And even, like, after my dress fitting, where it was, like, right before alterations started, I left that, and people were like, well, you can't lose or gain anything now. And I was like, I'm gonna fluctuate, and that's okay. Yeah, like, that's my body. It's fine.
Like, your weight fluctuates, like, during the day.
Yeah.
Like,
it's not like it's super tight on me now. It's not like I'm uncomfortable in it. I'll be fine. It's also not form-fitting. So it's like,
there's some room for the ZD that's gonna be happening. Like, during the wedding day. Like, I
can eat my mac and cheese and I'll be fine.
Fantastic. Love that.
Yeah.
No, the people who wear, like, shout out to them. That's amazing. Like, the super tight, like, dresses on their wedding day. I'm like, you spend a lot of money on food. Don't you want to enjoy it? Like,
Yeah.
I know personally, I would. Personally.
Yeah, that was one of my main goals. Like, it has to be good food because I'm going to shove my face with it. And it's fine.
Absolutely. Make sure someone sets aside food for you, like for the cocktail hour, so that you can take a break and shovel your face with food, so you don't have to go out to get the food. Make sure someone does that for you.
I save the TikToks to be like,
perfect
reminder.
Perfect. What is the first moment you remember feeling like some external force was playing a part in the way you perceived your body?
That's a good question.
Thank you. I try to ask the good ones.
As of recently, at least from what I remember, it was probably right before I got engaged.
Oh, wow. So that is very far into your life.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
I really did not ever think much of it. Actually, hold on.
I was gonna say, like middle school, like not even a little bit, like
no, middle school I was very awkward and I was aware of that, but I think I was more so trying to fit in like mentally, emotionally, and trying to mold myself in that way than I was like physically trying to fit in.
Right. We're all awkward as shit.
I was weird. In
yeah.
middle
Oh my god. Same.
I was happy mostly.
Yeah.
This is so.
I was weird and not happy, so I'm glad you're at least happy.
No, for me, I think it was before getting engaged when I started dating Scott. One of his family members, I will not say who, had gotten like a weight loss surgery. Yes,
okay.
yes. And, were showing me photos from their wedding. And as I'm looking through, like, obviously the surgery had done well, and right, she lost weight, she was feeling good, good for her. And she said, well, when I was bigger like you, this is what it looked like. And I was like, hold on. Am I bigger? And it, we started dating in 2020, right at the beginning of the pandemic.
Bless your heart.
And,
did you quarantine together or separate?
So at the very beginning, like when it was peak for us in Harrisburg, we were separate. We had just like spoken. And then we quickly realized that it wasn't ending anytime soon. So we would like meet up on my back porch and sit like hot. And then eventually we were like, we're fine. Let's just, we're good. We'll intermingle. And so that was kind of the point where like, I had just started my master's program. It was before I'd gained most of my weight. So it was maybe like 5-10 pounds in, but like a lot of people had gained 5-10 pounds. And so to hear that, I was kind of like, what? I don't think I've ever heard that in my life before.
Damn.
I don't think I've ever heard that. And then it kind of like set me to thinking like, am I bigger?
Yeah.
Because up until that point, I didn't think I was, right? I knew that I was tall. I knew that my feet were huge, my hands were huge, I had that. But I didn't think that, like, as a body, I was bigger than the average person. And just to kind of hear that one little thing, I
Isn't it weird how the smallest, like, just, like, what was it, like, 3 words? Like, how that can...
Yeah.
That's crazy.
When I was bigger like you. I was like...
2 words. Like,
hold on.
Yeah. Press pause. Wow. Okay. Yeah, no, that's... Number one, that is the furthest into your life I've ever heard a woman say, like, I am not... Like, because we grew up in the tabloid era, as I like to call it, with the, like... She's gained an extra pound. Look how fat and ugly she is. Like, and the Tyra Banks, like, you're a bigger woman. And I was like, huh? Like, what do you mean plus size? Like, so that is, number one, kudos to you that you made it that far. That's amazing. I love that.
I think in reflecting, what I've realized is, like, I came from a very backwoodsy, small town type of mindset. And it was so normalized that I just heard those things and it didn't impact me because it was just the norm.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, I'd heard it growing up. I'd heard, like, oh, you can't eat too much of that. You'll gain 5 pounds or whatever, right? Like, or, ooh, that's naughty food. Don't eat that one. And I'd heard so much of it that it wasn't until... and I'd heard that, and also, you know, growing up, my family liked to call me the skinny mini, right? So, like, I was very thin. I was tall, but I was thin. And so, like, I heard all of those things, and it really wasn't until, like, someone kind of from the outside came in. Not that I never left my small town in my family before that, but it was, like, that's when my body was changing so much. That's when that's when I recognized that it was changing a lot more than it ever had before. And that's when someone from the outside came in and was kind of like, but it's you, right? Because up until then I just heard like, oh, you're so thin, I wish I could look like that. And then it shifted.
So you thought you were on the other, you were under the impression you were on the other side, and like, and then hearing, oh God, that's so weird.
And like, obviously I'm aware, I know, right? Like I know I've gained a few pounds.
But other people perceiving it is interesting to hear. And then again, it was wedding related. Because, that's crazy.
Before we were engaged, like, literally had just started dating, but it was like when I was bigger like you, this is how I did my wedding. And I was like, hold on. God.
Back up. And, like, you weren't even engaged at that point.
Correct. Like, I had just met the guy. I was still
she just had a really good feeling about it. She had to impose that upon you early on. Thank goodness someone was. So this, I think, will be an interesting question as a therapist. Because this is when a therapist pointed this out to me first. How do you feel like your perception of your body impacts your relationship with other people?
In a lot of scenarios, not as much recently, since I've started to figure out how to navigate it.
Thanks, therapy.
Yeah, right. Both my own therapy brain and also my therapist's therapy brain have helped with that a lot.
Therapy brains unite.
Yeah. After my body started to change as much as it did, I definitely like kept myself away from people a lot more. And so whether that looked like, you know, we were going to meet some of Scott's friends and they were going to like a pool or like a hot tub or something. And I was like, I don't want to go. I'm just going to stay here. You know, or like a bunch of my friends are going to the beach and now I'm uncomfortable. And they're like, why is Kelli being so quiet? Like what's going on in her brain? As of late, I've gotten a little bit better about it. And now, if anything, I think I've just kind of like, again, I've accepted the way that I look. I'm okay with that. And I have friends or other people who have been like, you seem so positive about it. So
as if that's a sin.
Yeah, so, right.
How dare you like yourself?
But some of them are people who like maybe have kind of struggled with their body image a little bit more.
And you can see how that impacts their relationship with you.
Yeah. And, you know, now that I've kind of gotten to a point where I feel really comfortable, a lot of them have been like, oh, maybe I could do that too. So I definitely had a really hard point where I was like, well, now I'm super aware and I don't want to do anything with anyone and I don't want to meet anyone. I don't.
I'm going to hang out with parkas only, like those.
Those, like those fully covered, you know, I want like parachute pants and.
Perfect. Giant fluffy coat. Yeah. So let's switch to the more positive things. What makes you feel happiest in your body?
Ooh, what makes me feel happiest in my body? My body's done really incredible things, right? I was born, and needed surgery pretty soon after. And
Were you a NICU baby? Or
I was not.
Okay.
However, after I was born...
It was the lung transplant.
Yeah.
That's it. Right. I was like, which one was it? Okay.
I had to have a lung removed. I didn't even have one, like, replaced in. So, got, like, scars up and down my side.
Again, I love scars.
They feel kind of cool.
Yeah.
And I've, you know, gotten second-degree burns on my hand, and it's healed quickly.
That's awesome.
You know, all of these things that, like, you know, doctors told my mom that I wouldn't do well throughout my life and that I'd really struggle. But my body and specifically my mind, my brain have, like, done such good things. And I think no one would have ever anticipated.
Yeah, and your body has to carry you around in order to do the brain stuff.
Yeah. And so, like, it's made its way through somehow.
Yeah.
Some days I fall in the bed afterwards, but that's okay.
That's what we gotta do. Yeah. Just the John Mulaney quote. This is the second episode in a row I've quoted John Mulaney. But, just like, I don't know what my body's for. I think it's just for bringing my head around from room to room. But, like, even if that's all it's doing, that's pretty sick.
Yeah,
like,
there's a lot in my head, so, like, it has to get there somehow.
Gotta carry it around.
Yeah.
What has helped you heal parts of you impacted by insecurities?
Therapy's a big one.
Yep, thanks, therapy.
And I don't know. One of the things that my fiance was kind of really helpful with was like, let's get you clothes that fit you, right? Because like you said,
yes,
the clothes are there to fit you. You're not there to fit the clothes. And so I was intentional. I had maybe a year or so where I like would clean out like 5 things and then I'd get a couple new things.
Yeah.
And it's been nice to see myself like not try to shove into the things that I would have worn in college, because then I'm going to feel awful.
Yeah. Especially like with my sensory things, I'm like, if it does not fit
Yeah, I'm like,
brain can't do the thing. Like,
and now I'm standing in front of my mirror almost naked and like now I don't want to wear anything.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so like you know, it's been mental health journey for sure. And also like physically just finding the things that work for me and recognizing what that is. And also like the things I've talked about, like nourishing myself appropriately and taking the vitamins when I know I'm low on them. And feeling good in that way, because then I'm kind of like, okay, I've got a stretch mark here. But what does it matter?
Whatever.
Everything is fine.
Yeah. I dated a guy, I'm gonna say guy loosely, horrible shithole. Anyway, sorry, didn't mean to shit on it, but I did. He thought that women only got stretch marks after they had kids. I was like, sorry, like
I don't remember having one.
He didn't. Yeah, no, he. I feel like that's something you'd remember. Yeah, it's like my husband has stretch marks.
Yeah,
he certainly has
my
not
fiance
given
does
birth to like well, bodies like. Okay, whatever. But also with the clothes fitting, my first year of college, I went from an A cup to a D cup. Now we're rocking a triple D cup. These are shoved into a sports bra to put them away today.
And then they kind of like,
they're there.
Marshmallow.
Yes, I have noticed that recently.
Mine do that too.
Yes. I went from an A to a D my first year of college, and I wore A bras the whole time because I didn't have a card to go buy more, and I didn't have a credit card to buy online. And then I finally got bras that fit, and I was like, oh, I don't have to be in agonizing pain every single day.
Like holding my breath sometimes.
What? Weird. I was like, number one, like, how did I physically shove it in there?
They shouldn't have
how did that happen? I think I just like stretched with it. I don't know. But like, yes, no, clothes that fit, it's like, it's a literal game changer. Like, it's amazing. And I am lucky, but also unlucky that my mom's church has a rummage sale. And so she goes and sorts clothes, and they have like a barrage of clothes, like piles and piles and piles and piles of clothes. And when she sorts, she's like, oh, Sarah would like this. Oh, Justin would like this. Oh, blah, blah, blah. And she grabs them. So I have like a limitless supply of clothes.
Love that.
Which isn't great, because then she comes and brings all the clothes, because we have done a lot of work with decluttering, because like we just kept a lot of stuff, which I also got from her. Like, she grew up very poor, so she like stuff meant like you had something, so it was scary to get rid of stuff. So I've cleaned out my closet, and she likes to refill it. But like, that's the thing. It's like, if I ever go up or down, and I have been going down just because, again, I've been walking more and stuff like that. I'm not trying to do anything, but just because I actually move my body more, I can get more clothes that fit. I probably will get too many if she brings them in, but like, I can get more clothes that fit. And that is like another barrier, because like, clothes are expensive. Yes. Like, clothes are very expensive. And especially if maybe you have a unique body shape, you might not do well at the thrift store. Like, people are like, I'm just going to the thrift store. I'm like, okay, but that only works for a couple sizes. So, it's expensive to get new clothes when your body changes. So I'm very lucky that I have, again, a barrage of clothes. Dot likes to go shopping for the family. So what do you like most about your body?
So it's gonna sound a little weird, bear with me.
Okay, I'm bearing with you.
I am very German. We did the 23andMe thing. I'm like 99% German.
Dang.
Knew I was German, didn't know I was that much, right? And I like how much my body kind of embodies that, right?
Yeah.
Culture is really important to me. I make it a point to do like German food every now and again. We celebrate Krampus when it comes around in December.
What's your favorite German food?
Recently I've gotten into Spätzle. It's like the little dough dumplings.
Are you good at making it, or do you go elsewhere? Okay. Awesome.
No, I absolutely make it. I got a little tool that you like put the dough in and then slide it over. It makes the little like turd nuggets come out. I don't know. Just like the chinchilla. Yeah, just like a chinchilla.
Perfect.
That
would put me off eating it, but that sounds good.
It's so easy. It's quite literally just like a little dough ball that like falls at...
That sounds good.
Never mind. So we make it a point to do all of that. My grandfather grew up Pennsylvania Dutch. He only spoke Pennsylvania Dutch until he was like 15.
Okay.
And so like when his brothers were around, that's all they spoke with each other. And I've not learned German or anything like that. It's hard. I still very much kind of like took that culture on, and I know that my body shows that.
Yeah.
And in like, I went to Germany a couple years ago, and so in like walking around, I was like, people look like me.
Yeah,
You know, they're
that's so
tall,
cool.
they've got the hair, they have the skin, like, I fit in, and it's really cool.
No, that is really cool.
And so like, since culture is so important to me internally, I think it's cool that I look
externally,
like that on the outside too. Yeah.
What feature of your body physically do you think looks the most German that you really like?
I think it's my eyes. I very much think so. And I also just think my height in general, because they're so tall.
I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah, and big feet.
Big feet.
Is
there you
pretty
go.
German.
Perfect. There you go. See, like, yeah, that's cool that you fit in. That's super cool. I love that. So, we're closing the first part. We talked a lot, which is amazing. So the concept that I have for you today, we are going to go to the peacock enclosure, and we're gonna, Barbie and Ken are gonna hang out with us, and so are the chickens.
The chickens.
Yeah, I can't prevent them from coming in, and I'm like, Della, no one needs to see your ass.
I love chickens.
Okay,
it's okay.
Perfect. Maybe that's Pennsylvania Dutch. I don't know. And we're gonna do some bridal boudoir in there, and then we are going to go to the bridal shop and do hardcore bridal boudoir there. So I'm super excited because her shop is like so cool. So let's go do it.
Let's do it.
Before we look at the photos, how did that session make you feel?
I think I told you earlier, it was like I felt much less nervous than I initially anticipated. The session was fun, and I definitely was much more comfortable than I thought I was going to be. And it just kind of felt like, I don't know, it was like fun. I wouldn't say sexy because I had like 8 double chins. But like,
That's a good amount to have, personally.
But it definitely made me feel like, I don't know, it was very confidence building. It was very just exciting to do the whole thing.
Yeah. No, it's just, I mean, you also got to yap with me for an hour because I don't stop talking, so you got used to me. What would you say was the most prominent emotion you felt during the photo shoot experience?
Ooh, aside from nausea. No, I'm kidding. I want to say joy, but not in the sense of like how I'm overabundantly.
Yeah.
Just in like, I feel like I couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
Just so excited.
And then by the end, you were like, oh my God, my smile. Like, I'll have to, we only have that's what I say to people, like, we only have so long before our faces are not equipped to smile anymore. Yes. And these are long sessions, so it's like, we run out of smiles. What was your favorite part of the session?
Well, one, I enjoyed trying on all the fun veils.
Yes, there's so many fun ones.
But also I just enjoyed like how, I guess, free I felt. Like I didn't feel weird rolling around on my back and stuff.
With me crawling with the goblin feet of my personal goblin feet.
I felt comfortable.
Yeah.
And that was like my favorite because I didn't expect to feel that.
Yeah. No. Super awesome. So are you ready to see the photos?
I'm excited.
Yay. Okay. So we're going to start. You're just going to hold it in your lap, and that's you. And then we're going to scroll down, and you're going to go like this, and you're just going to swipe through all of them, and you just take your time, just looking at them.
Oh, they're so moody.
Oh, yeah. And people,
so good.
People who said stupid stuff about your scar are dumb because I think it looks sick as hell.
Badass?
I love it. I was expecting it to be like a more, like you said, second degree burns or third. I thought like, you ran into a fire to like save a kitten or something like that. And I was really excited about it. Yeah. Like you reached out, and like you also have some scratches on there too because they were fighting back against you. Like, no, I was cooking. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Get over yourself. Stupid iPad.
Oh my God. The thighs are like.
Yeah, that's what I said. They're like hanging out. Like, I love me some thick thighs.
And the boobs.
The boobs, yeah. I lied. There are 3 photos of Ken. There are 3. And that was the least blurred one. Barbie was doing her thing, though.
Showing her ass.
Showing her ass. She's like, hello.
I love her. Oh, this is so cute.
Yeah. And Barbie's like, about me too.
I'm over here as well.
And then Ken's in the corner like, ah! He's just having a panic attack the whole time.
Honestly, dude, I get it. Oh.
There he is, as I said.
Oh, there you go.
That's it. That's all you get.
Oh my God. He's like, this is going to have to be good enough, guys. Sorry.
He's like, I really don't care if it isn't. Like, this is going to be a you problem.
I'm surprised the chickens didn't like make more of an appearance.
Yeah, we shot around them. Okay. Delaware is the biggest offender.
Which one is that?
She's the yellow one. Yeah, we get it. Whatever, just keep going. Okay. Yeah, no, she's the yellow one. She likes everything to be about her. And she also, like, stands in front of the camera and then puts her ass in the air. And I'm like, this is not...
Why didn't I get to do that?
Yeah. Deli Del Dot. This is not exactly what we were hoping for in the grand scheme of things. And I think you're...
Is that the dad joke one? Maybe?
I think so, yeah. Gotta throw those black and white ones in there too. These are some of my favorites because the light on your hair is just like very tangled. I'm a big Rapunzel lady.
That's one of my faves.
Yeah, no, it's one of my faves.
Not even like super big into animated movies, but
it's just so good. Music's so good.
Oh, my hair was doing something fun.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I love not having hair, but sometimes when hair does that, I'm like, I do kind of miss it. Yeah, it would be fun. I tried to grow it out one time since college, and I was like, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I hated it. It was bad. It did not look good. I was fighting against it every single day, like, because I used to have hair that was longer than yours.
Really?
Yeah, in like my early days.
Mine has gotten very long before.
It's quite long.
God bless America.
A little bit.
Okay. Ooh. Mm-hmm. The rose petals? Mm-hmm. Oh, I love them. Sorry, I don't know if I'm going slow or fast.
No, you're doing perfect. You're doing perfect. It's however you want to be.
Oh my gosh, that lighting was so nice.
I was fighting for my life in there. It was not doing what I wanted it to do. So I'm glad you said that. Goblin time. Which they don't get to see, but I'll know.
Okay. We know. It's probably a good thing that your feet aren't just like hanging in the middle.
No, I was like, we were having some toe moments, and I was like, I was spreading wider so that no one had to see that. Like, no one wants that.
Oh, that was so...
I know. I was like, I know I'm making you stay here for a while and your knees are going to hurt, but like, it's doing the thing.
Oh, I love that too. Mm-hmm. Ooh, these are fun in the background.
Yeah, right? Yeah, we were running out of smiles.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So...
Up until the end.
We're again, as I say, you run out of smiles. You only have so much. I only have so many words at the beginning of the day, and then people only have so many smiles to go through.
Well, I mean, earlier you said like, wedding day is not a photo shoot. Right?
No.
For that reason, because by the end you don't want to be like.
It was so nice for you to join us today.
I needed every moment.
Yeah, I needed every moment of this. So, what was it like seeing yourself in these photos?
I've never seen myself like that.
Yeah. Because you've never done a shoot like this before.
No.
Most of these other, I think so far I've worked with everyone that has done these before. So you're my first fresh-faced client for this type of thing. So
yeah, like I said, I thought I would have been more nervous. Looking at that, I'm like, why?
Yeah.
They were so good.
Yeah.
And again, like the whole time, I know we talked earlier about just feeling like very aware of myself and awkward. I certainly still felt that throughout, but like looking at that, you can't tell.
No, you can't. You can't tell. No, yeah. No.
Except like the weird, like.
Yeah, just the one last one, but like it'd be like that sometimes. If you could say something to 11-year-old you, what would you say?
Ooh.
I know.
Probably just something in the realm of fuck 'em.
I love that. Yes.
Everyone else tells you throughout, like, things are going to change physically, mentally, emotionally, and that's okay.
Yeah, if you were the same as you were at 11 for the rest of your life, that would kind of be a problem.
Yeah, right. But honestly, like, who cares?
Yeah.
Right? Like, make yourself happy. That's all that matters.
Yes, I love that. If you could say something to someone who is out there wishing they had the confidence to do something out of their comfort zone, like what you did, maybe it's not photos, but like something that's out of their comfort zone, what would you say to them?
I would say it's worth it for yourself, for your healing journey, for whatever that looks like.
A therapist said that, so.
A therapist said that. You owe it to yourself, and I'm putting it in your treatment plan.
That's fantastic. Do you ever have clients like where you want them to push themselves out of their comfort zone?
Yeah, absolutely. And I've had a few like do stuff like this too.
Oh, really?
And like, you know, I'm just really looking to heal and like love my body more. And they'll either do it with my urging or just like them kind of deciding that they want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, there's some who are like, I want to get into this new hobby or like do this new thing or go out on a date for the first time in a really long time. And it's like,
that's scary.
All right, how do we build your confidence? How do we get there?
No, I love that because there's a lot of steps in order to get there.
Yeah. So I took a little bit of my own work this time. And
Good. Your therapist will be impressed.
Yeah, she was so excited.
Yeah, oh my God, I love that. Yeah, no, that's why I like emphasize being trauma informed and everything because I know this can be a very overwhelming experience.
Yeah.
And I know it can be very triggering for a lot of people and like I don't want it to be the start of your self-love journey because like you got to do a little bit of healing to and be able to like, you know, hang around in lingerie with a random lady.
That's when the awkwardness would
Yes. Yes. Which like I have done fully covered boudoir sessions like who don't get down to the lingerie and like we only very briefly went down to just lingerie but with a giant piece of fabric behind you.
Right.
But so like I have every level of everything but you know just even opening yourself up to the camera, regardless of how much clothing you're wearing, is overwhelming, especially if you've struggled with self-image and stuff like that. So it's like it's a very privileged position I take to like that I get to help people have that experience because I know they don't offer that trust in me lightly because I know it's hard. As someone who started photography because I hate having my picture taken. And that's why boudoir is like so important to me because it was very important to my own self journey because like to practice, I had to practice on myself. And that was scary because like I do the culling stuff, so you don't have to see the ones where whatever is happening. Like I had to see those and I was like, ugh! But then I had to like separate myself. I'm like, okay, it's not the end of the world that this one camera angle was not for you. Like it's okay.
Yeah.
Especially because I have my husband snap some of the photos when I tell him exactly what to do and then he doesn't pick always the best moments, but that's why he's the second shooter, not the lead shooter. But thank you so much for joining us. We're about to pick the photo that you're choosing for your medal, which will be hard because there's a lot of that. So I will pause this. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Love Looks Like This project. If you want to support the project, you can do so for free by subscribing, watching more episodes, sharing this episode with your friends, and following us at all the links in the description. If you really want to support us, we have really pretty merch, art prints, and even a donation link with details with upcoming investments we plan to make on this project. And if you really, really want to support us by telling your story in an episode, make sure you join our self-love group on Facebook, as they always are the first to know about upcoming opportunities and will be the first to know when applications reopen. Please know that you are loved, you are irreplaceable, and beauty is not a price you have to pay to take up space on this earth. See you in the next episode.